Hi, everybody. Welcome to your webinar. My name's Lee Honish. Today, we're going to talk about how to get leads from the World Wide Web. I'm going to try to do in real time over the course of the next hour, show you how to generate leads off the World Wide Web. To understand that, you need to understand certain things about you and your business, and hopefully we can all come to the same agreement on that. For those of you who do not know me, hi. My name's Lee. That's me on the left. That's my Facebook page. Join me on Facebook. My name is Lee Honish. Last name is HONISH.com. I have been educating real estate professionals just like yourselves since 2007. I have been viewed more than 1 million times on the World Wide Webs. I've been named one of the most innovative marketers in America for the direct marketing that I have created. I am a private consultant. I am somebody who does real estate on my own. Today, I'm going to share with you how I use the web to capture and convert leads. I have been in real estate and around real estate since 1988. I've worked in traditional real estate. I've worked for banks. I use all of that information to help me generate more leads and more listings because I use very specific niche marketing. Today, I'm going to show you how to open up your funnel so that it doesn't matter if you're going after a buyer or seller. What we're going to try to achieve is how do I get more traffic, period, more people who want to talk to me. Does that make sense? And again, feel free to follow me on Facebook at Lee Honish, LeeHonish.com. You can find my information, my number, and all of that. Let's start off talking about the current real estate market just quickly. I don't actually care what you believe about the current real estate market. I don't. And here's why. Every single one of you that is on this call right now has your own perception of what the market is currently doing. And that is 100% correct. That is the message you will give to your clients. The only reason I bring it up at the start of this webinar, no matter what you believe, I believe it's hard to get buyers and sellers. If you work with buyers, I think it's difficult because the prices are so sky high in certain markets. And if you work with sellers, people just aren't selling their homes as frequently. I'm not here to talk about direct marketing. I'm not here to talk about target or niche marketing. I'm just talking about in general. Understand your current market, understand your current trends. I think it is monumentally important when you are a marketer and all of you are private contractors. So I say all of you on this call, anybody watching this when it goes back out on the World Wide Web, you need to be aware of what your current market's doing because your clients will have questions for you about the current market. We recently just did a coaching call in one of my groups, and we were talking about this exact thing, right? People in one of the valleys that we were discussing, people were holding off to buy homes till they got to this point of the year. And I think we're at a point right now when it comes to buyers that they might be waiting till the summer or they might be waiting till the interest rates. Again, I'm not here to talk about my personal philosophies of what the web does, of what the market does. You need to be aware of it because your clients generate their perception of the market based on the news that is fed to them. So it's monumentally important to keep track of what your market perception is. Today, we're going to talk about generating leads, right? Doesn't really matter. I don't know if there's any particular way to filter them. I can only tell you from my personal experience. I was just consulting at a real estate office yesterday. I was consulting at a different business the day before, and everybody feels that they want to have targeted leads. At the end of the day, in my humble opinion, when it comes to generating leads in a market, from my perception, that is tight, right? I think it's hard to generate quality buyers and quality sellers at this moment. I want to take in as many people as I can because that becomes a list. So let's talk quickly about how you can generate that kind of list. Where can you start generating leads? We're going to get into further detail in just a moment, but I believe personally that everything you do in real estate, every open house, that generates a list, right? That creates phone numbers, that creates emails, that creates names, and you can even go further on an open house list, right? You can find out if they're interested in buying or selling or if they're, just a local neighbor. It doesn't really matter. But the more you define the lead, the better it is for you for targeting them later on. Does that make sense? Since I have a couple of my current coaching students, Lisa and Ted, you're going to be my voice of reason because I can tend to get a little ADD when I'm doing one of these calls, for those of you who aren't my coaching students. So Lisa and Ted, if I start to go off the rails, keep an eye on me. So my goal is to take in as many leads as I can. I hope this makes sense. From whatever source, open houses, calls when you're sitting on the desk at the office, internet, it doesn't matter. But I need to define everybody that I meet. And this is the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to getting leads. Every single person you meet, once they've identified their interest, no matter what, raise their hand, whatever terminology you want to use, I want to capture their name, their phone number, their email. That is crucial for creating a list in the future. Your job as a private contractor, I don't care if you're generating from the web, I don't care if you're generating from direct mail, I don't care if you're working with referrals, you need to generate a name, a phone number, and an email, okay? That will come into play later on because people might not be hiring you today. You've got to start thinking long game, right? How do I generate more listings throughout the year? Does that make sense to everybody? So I generally coach to my own coaching students the following philosophy. From every single person you meet, to every single phone call you take, to every single open house you sit, right? I like a very basic pattern speech of, hi, my name's Lee. Do you or anybody you know interested in buying or selling their home, right? I like that common, once they know that I do real estate, I always point out that I do real estate. And then I always ask, are you or anybody you know interested in buying or selling a home? That's it. That's it. I don't make it overt. I don't make it a lot. But if I can get engaged from the first conversation to a person I meet on the street without being embarrassing, it's not. It's what I do. So marketing is always happening from the minute I walk out the front door to sitting on incoming calls. I saw this in real time yesterday at a real estate office. There were 3 lead calls that came into the desk person. Desk person decided on each of these calls that they didn't merit any value for an immediate buyer or seller, right? You have to change your mindset right there. If you're lucky enough to get desk time or you're on rotation in the evening, you immediately want to pick up that phone and introduce yourself, right? And you want to capture their name, their phone number, and their email, no matter what their question is. If you're uncomfortable with that, always make it clear, especially when you're talking on the phone. I don't know if we're going to get disconnected. I'm on my cell phone. Can I get your number? Is this number you're calling from a way I can call you back if we're cut off? Great. They ask you their question. Great. Can I send you that information? Don't qualify. Capture the leads. Always capture the leads. Got it? Which leads us to what we're ultimately trying to do, right? To me, I don't think the phone call is the biggest deal in this whole scenario. I think the biggest deal is the face-to-face. Face-to-face leads to actual contracts, in my humble opinion. That's where I get most of my conversions. I do leave the phone as a landing place because I think you can occasionally get a deal under contract over the phone for a buyer or seller. But for me, the bulk of my business on a day-to-day basis is done by generating face-to-face. So for you and your business, you need to decide what that is, right? But the reality is very clear. I don't think it's about how many leads you generate off the web. I don't think it's how many names you get off. I think it's about how many meaningful face-to-face conversations you have about buying or selling a home. So you have to decide for you, what is your end game before you start any kind of marketing. I know that this webinar is about generating digital marketing, and we're certainly going to talk about that. We're going to get to it in just a couple of minutes, but you need to know where you're landing, okay? There are 3 ways to get new buyers and sellers, and you need to have all 3 of these funnels operating at any point. The first is direct marketing. I feel that everybody in real estate should be running an effective direct marketing campaign. I feel that you should make it niche marketing, right? You should have a specialty, much like a doctor or a lawyer, and you should target certain clients in your direct marketing. It will lead to a higher conversion rate. But whatever direct marketing I'm doing, or any kind of physical marketing I'm doing, even down to sitting on an open house, I want to be capturing data. Capturing data is what's going to lead to long-term deals. Today, we're going to talk about web marketing, right? My goal here is the same. I'm trying to generate phone numbers, emails, and names so that I can ultimately lead to either a phone conversation or a face-to-face. And the third is your referral business. This is a group of individuals that you are feeding. And again, I'm just trying to generate a new face-to-face with either through them or somebody that they know to get more buyers or sellers. Simple as that. Hello, Ralph, another one of my coaching students. So how do we really generate buyers and sellers, right? All right, step one, right? We need to understand our personal value, what our personal message is, what we're trying to convey. It's monumentally important. I know I say that word a lot, but it's shocking to me that people don't understand their basic value, right? Go read your Yelp reviews. Go find what you're good at in real estate. You need to understand and convey your greatest value. You can't create a landing page if you're not aware of those things. Okay? All of this is going to come into play when we start to create digital marketing. If I don't know my value, how would I create a landing page? Step two, create a landing page, right? If I know what my value is and I know what the greatest thing I can provide to a human being is, I'm going to create a landing page for it, right? My landing page is going to be super straightforward, very simple. I'm going to want people to give me information. So it's a give to get. It's a very basic principle. Step three. I like the fact that it says text 1, text 2, text 3. Can you tell it's a brand new webinar that I just haven't quite perfected? I'm going to create direct marketing. I'm also going to create direct marketing that's going to lead back to either a landing page or a phone call that generates back to me. I'm going to keep the net as wide open as I can for myself. 4, I'm going to generate web marketing. Everything is going to lead back to that landing page. And ultimately, that landing page is going to lead back to a phone call or an email. Step 5, I'm going to engage my referrals with the same value that I've put on that landing page, because that's where it's at. And ultimately, I'm going to follow up, and that's all engaged on the web. A great bulk of this is engaged on the web. So let's talk about web marketing from the very beginning. Once we know our value, right, we're going to create a landing page. That's what we're here to talk about today. I'm not going to get into all the variations of how you engage direct marketing so that it captures information. We're here to talk about one very specific thing today. I believe they all tie in, but the reason you're on this webinar today and what we're going to try to do over the course of really 30 to 45 minutes is create a fishing net from the World Wide Web, okay? So we're taking one piece of this formula. We know our value. We're going to create a landing page. We're going to find content, because that's our, I think the term they use on the web these days is clickbait, right? People aren't going to engage with you just because you do real estate. If it were that simple, everybody would be doing it. What you're doing is feeding your audience through social media, direct email marketing, or whatever other source, something that will engage them. In that engagement, I will put information that will allow them to find their house. Today, we're going to probably be a little more overt about it and a little more direct, but I'll show you all the different ways. I need to create a landing page for my content. For some of you, that's your website. For some of you, that's your Facebook page. For some of you, you don't even have it. That's fine. Once I put my content, so let's take it in order. I've created a landing page. That's ultimately where I want them to go, where I can capture their information, right? I can capture their cell phone, their email, and their name, right? Then I'm going to find some content. That's bait on a hook. It's clickbait, no different, right? Something very specific about their city or home values and prices. Then I'm going to take that article and I'm going to convert it and I'm going to put it into a place where I can control it, either a blog or your website or on a Facebook page. Where I land that content, I'm going to create a place to backlink it to capture them, right? So they read an article on housing shortage, but somewhere implanted in that is find out your home's value and find out if you've depreciated. So there's a link that takes them from there, right? Then I'm going to take that article from that landing place with that backlink, and I'm going to spread that message through social media, right? I'm also going to email it out, and then I'm going to follow up with the leads that I get and constantly feed them until they're ready to take action as a buyer and seller. Does that make sense to everybody? That's what we're going to try to achieve with this webinar. We're going to try to do it in real time. I do not have time on this webinar to set up each and every single individual page that I'm about to show you. I will call them out. Most of them come with free trials. My goal is always to guerrilla market. That's the way I've created most of my marketing. I don't like spending additional dollars on marketing. I'm not a big fan of postcards. I'm not a big fan of cold calling. I'm not a big fan of door-to-door knocking. I think they're wastes of time. I think there's too much output, either money, time, or effort, for very little return. I think your time is better suited offering to take open houses if you're going to do direct marketing. I think if you do direct marketing, you should look into niche marketing, specifically that captures a lead source. When it comes to the web, there is no bulletproof magic cure, to be brutally honest. Facebook ads can get very expensive. I said this yesterday while I was in a meeting with a client who I was consulting with, so I will share the information I spent with you. We watched his agent sit on the desk, take 3 live phone calls, didn't capture the information, didn't feel that they were either a buyer or seller or somebody who was immediately ready to move. And I looked at him and I said, 3 calls while we sat there. I said, if that was Facebook, that was anywhere from $1 to $5 for each of those calls, anywhere. If it was Zillow, based on the area that they were in Hollywood, that could be literally not just, it's hundreds of dollars per phone call based on the monthly fee you'd have to pay to get those from Zillow. From Google, it's anywhere from $5 to $100 per click because of their location. Be very realistic, right? So the more consistent I can do marketing that generates a lead source that can create a list, and the more I follow up with that list once I've captured their information, the more likely are to start tripping out buyers and sellers. Does that make sense? Ted, did that make sense? So I'm going to start doing World Wide Web stuff. If I don't, it's not going to make sense from here. Thanks, Ted. All right. So keeping that all in mind, our goal is to constantly capture and move forward on leads, right? It's time to move on to the World Wide Web and to start implementing some of this. So for all of you, I'm going to show you exactly the order you need to start and do everything. Hopefully I can get this done in the course of the next 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes. Everything starts and ends with Google. I don't know how much simpler to make it than that. First thing you should do when you get on the World Wide Web that most of you have not done, type in your name, okay? You need to be aware of all of your links and everywhere that you go. Everything that you see is important. If you do not have a unique name, let it say, because you're on the call, Kevin, if you are a Kevin Olson, then you want to add Kevin Olson Realtor. If your name is Joe Smith, add Joe Smith Realtor, okay? So your goal is to create content, it's to create engagement, and you want to be aware of that. I also think your last name is equally important. You should be aware of everything that is on the World Wide Web, okay? These aren't actually me, which is very interesting. In fact, these images, only one of them, 2 of them are me, but YouTube and Facebook are different. What I care about is this. Line number 1, Lee Honish Distressed Properties. I care about my bio. I like the fact that Bigger Pockets is looking at the reviews, and my Facebook page. Those are the ones I care the most about. For you as real estate professionals, or if you're a broker on this call, Yelp is equally as important, okay? Next thing you want to do is click on the link to your website or to whatever page you generally think people are going to on the World Wide Web. And then I want you to click, I would recommend getting an Alexa tool. This is usually very eye-opening, especially to people who have websites. I have it as a Firefox add-on, and it will tell you your rank on the World Wide Web. It will tell you your traffic, okay? So they only rank the top 20 million websites worldwide and local traffic. If you see anything in either of these boxes, I would say this to any real estate person, to all of you. If you see yourself in the top million, you're doing very good traffic. I can tell you this, by having that Alexa ranking and traffic ranking, I know what that means for traffic on my website. I know how frequent that traffic is on my website, and I'm happy to show it to you because I think you need to be aware, because everybody thinks, oh, I'm going to get a #1 page and I'm going to drive a lot of traffic at my website. More than likely, you're not. What you're looking for as a real estate professional is to try to get, anywhere from 5 to 100 people visiting your website per day. That would be a phenomenal number, in my humble opinion. To get to the numbers where I'm at, and you can go to alexa.com and you can type in websites and check all the information there. It's a free service. I just think it's important to know what your digital footprint is and how many people are actually going to your website. So I'm going to show you my site stats. To me, it's everything. I'm only as good as the number of people that visit my website and where they're coming from. And lately, they've been coming off of Facebook and Facebook engagement, so I'm pretty happy about that. And if it will load for you quickly. Some of this will take time. Websites are slower than others. I'm running multiple services. Is this all still making sense, Ted? Am I still on track? So today, I don't seem to have any traffic. It's all fallen off. Could be that my website was down for construction most of the day. So yesterday I had 2,800 hits, the day before 7,800. You can see the difference. When I don't create content and I'm not driving back, it falls off the chain. But if I am creating content and I'm engaging and keep my website current, right? I didn't do anything here, didn't do anything here, didn't do anything here. I did some construction on my website today because I was home. I basically had the website off for most of the day. Generally speaking, on average, I'm looking at about 5,000 people hitting my website. The more people who hit my website, the more information I capture. The more information I capture, the more sales I make. Simple as that, okay? I think you need to be aware of how many people are on your website. I think you need to be aware of your Alexa ranking. I think you need to be aware of those things. Do I think you can increase them? Absolutely. But it all starts and ends with Google. That's the first place to start. Now, that's not why you guys are all here. I'm going to give you guys all the basics. First thing we're going to do, I already know my value. I already know what I'm going after. I'm going to use lead pages, not .com. They don't exist. Leadpages.net. And in real time, I'm going to try to create stuff for you. Start from the very beginning. Try it. It's free. You can't beat that. You get 14 days to try this out without spending a dime. If it doesn't work for you, don't use it. I like any service that allows me to get involved with it for free. So I make lead pages for literally everything that I'm working on, every piece of content that I've created, and I want more unique views. Their conversions are a little wacky, and I don't agree. I use Google Analytics. To them, a conversion is only when they fill out a form. Sometimes I drive traffic off of the site to other locations, and they don't track that. So I can't stress this enough if you're going to use lead pages to create landing pages or squeeze pages. Use Google Analytics, okay? Their tracking, I don't know if I'm a big fan of. And I'll give you an example with one of my clients, which is a broadcasting platform, right? They wanted a lot of people on their website and they want a lot of people engaged, but they're only tracking conversions and unique views. And well, none of this information is really that useful to me. Well, here's what I can show you about this particular page. Their first goal was to get as many people as they could onto the website with the content that they create. And that's your job. But every single one of these is a click link to somewhere else, right? This is a click link to Facebook that'll open up automatically in the next page. I built this all for them. This is a click to open to their YouTube page. And again, I'll go back to it. They're not tracking any of that, which is really frustrating to me in a very weird way, the way it works. I can check their Alexa ranking. I can see what kind of traffic they're doing. They're doing about 1,000 hits a day. So their numbers are going up. The number of sites that LinkedIn isn't accurate. This is why the numbers dictate how you do marketing. I'm not going to get into a big psychology about that because it'll be really boring to you. But the reality is every piece of data you take in, every piece of marketing you put out, every action you take, every open house you sick, everything all the way to conversion is a number coming in and a number going out. And when your numbers are very basic like this, I can't deal with it. So I'm going to deal with Google Analytics that'll give me absolute clicks, how many minutes on page, things that I need to know. I don't like basic analytics. Basic analytics don't tell me what link they're clicking on. Basic analytics don't tell me things that I need to know. So when you create a lead page, less links the better. I'm just telling you from a lead page's standpoint, okay? They're only going to track one action. And I'm not a fan of that one action click thing that they have. I think that their lead pages are fantastic. They work. I'm a fan of them. So I'm going to create a new lead page and I want to generate leads. I'm going to use just one of their basic templates for the sake of our discussion. Again, look at what they're telling you what to create as a squeeze page or a landing page, right? Email or newsletters, free consultation, free guides, discounts, webinars, contest giveaways. They do this in all different breakdowns. They have sales, so you can use their basic pages for sales, right? Let me give you another example of how this looks. We have an event coming up on March the 15th, my coaching students, and all of you are invited. You can type in prereo.org. Here's what the finished product looks like, prereo.org. Please feel free to come to our event. It's a summit in Pasadena. It's 100% free. It's direct marketing, and we talk about how to get distressed properties. It's got a countdown. This is a completely generated page by lead pages. All I did was buy prereo.org on GoDaddy, and I did a redirect so that it's got a dedicated URL, right? And it's not tracking conversion. Here's why. There is no conversion on this page. Ultimately, what it has on the page is an embedded Eventbrite form to fill out for tickets. It's not tracking those, but I've had 134 people on that page and it shows 0 conversions. Again, here's why it's important. So now I have to go all the way to Eventbrite to see how many people went and partially filled out the form. I don't know if the message is wrong. All of this has to come into your psychology when you're creating a lead page, right? So what's my greatest value? What am I trying to convey? What's the end goal here? Remember, when you're dealing with the web, the end goal here is to capture name, phone number, email, if they're a buyer or seller, and if you want to go one step further, are they looking to take action in a certain period of time, right? The immediacy. I don't really care about that one as much. I care more about name, phone number, email. If I have name, phone number, and email, I can constantly engage them and keep them on track to be a buyer seller in the future. Remember, not everybody's a buyer seller today, and I realize many of you right now need buyers and sellers at this moment. Okay, my humble opinion is I just want their information, because if I get their name and their email, then I can feed them. If you have a direct marketing list that's via email, then you can create specific messages. We'll talk about that when we talk about email in just a moment. Okay, and that's an important part of web marketing. Everybody good to this point? Are there any questions about analytics? Ted, are we good? Lisa, are we good? You seem to be. Ralph, you should probably chime in too. I'm just checking in with everybody. And for the rest of you, if you have any questions, go ahead and toss them out. Okay, good. Gives me a chance to drink coffee at this moment. All right. So we're going to create a new lead page, right? So whatever specific message you want to convey doesn't really matter, right? You want to find out the value of the house or any of those things. right? You can create literally everything you want, okay? You can create an about me bio, you can create events. I really like lead pages. I've grown to love squeeze paging and creating events. In fact, my fiance is getting ready to do a walk for Alzheimer's, and I'm going to create a lead page for that walk because it'll have a higher conversion rate, right? That's what people want when I start to do direct marketing to generate people to sign up for her event. Make sense? All right, so we're going to generate leads. I need to decide what I'm looking for in here, right? Do I want them into a free guide, a free consultation, contest winner, webinar event, discount or coupon? I'm going to go with free consultation. And then I'm going to thumb through, doesn't really matter what it is, okay? I'm just going to take a basic one. I don't have a lot of time to break down how to create your landing page. There are lots of YouTube videos on how, they actually have real estate ones here. Let me see if I can get them up. On determining your property's values or capturing buyers, things of that nature. I want to go back and look at all of them. I think they give me a choice. Let me see. As I recall, they have real estate somewhere in here. I came across a real estate one that I liked for capturing leads. Let me see if I can find it. I'm going to put it on all. And I'm going to type in, and by the way, for those of you that don't have a website, here's a great opportunity. You can do an about or bio page. It's probably a good way to go. But you can do an about you or bio page and host it and change it, right? Just a thought for those of you who don't have web pages. Let's see what we have for real estate. There we go. We have real estate landing pages. You deserve the home of your dreams. That's nice. So I'm not here to get into dropping logos and changing. I'm going to use this template. I'm going to just show you how simple it is. I don't work for these people. Does that make sense? I'm not here to. There are many services out there that have landing pages and squeeze pages and click campaigns. I'm just showing you landing spots. Home of Dreams. I'm going to call it Home of Dreams. Once this lead is live, I'm going to show you my next move, and this is a pro hack. I'm going to go to GoDaddy, and I'm going to buy a URL, right? Home of Dreams. Bet shit's available. I do play with these. It's good for keywords. It's good for searching. Home of Dreams is only $24.95, but I can get Homes of Dreams. How about Home of Your Dreams? Probably $24.95. Home of Your Dreams is taken. Home of Your Dreams in a lot of definition. But I play around with these, right? Homes of Your Dreams, no. I don't like any of these, but Dream Home. I'll play with these and find a URL I like because you're not spending crazy money on them. Don't buy any of these really expensive ones. They're just stupid. Okay. Big Dream Home is not bad. Team Dream Home. I like that a lot. Team Dream Home. Add that to the cart. I think GoDaddy is $10 if you buy it for a single year. So it's worth it, especially when you're creating a permanent landing page. So now that I've got this posted and I bought my URL, the next thing I want to do is create my landing page. So all of this is set up. You click on view your listings, which will lead back to your MLS. All these buttons take actions. All of the information is live. It looks great. You just custom make them from stuff you have, then information about you. And really the goal here is to message us. That's going to generate an event. I'm going to publish it. I don't have any real interest in it. I'm just making this our landing page for the sake of discussion. All of you can do this. There's YouTube pages. If not, you can get somebody to do it. It's all drag and drop. It's very simple. So now I have a live lead page that I'm going to copy the URL on, right? Go back over to GoDaddy. I'm going to buy that URL, and then I'm going to forward it directly to this website. And now I have a landing place. Does that make sense? All of this is going to lead somewhere, okay? It's going to lead them to looking at houses that I've recently sold or that I recently list that I can update. All of this is information about me that I can put in there. But ultimately, they're only going to deem this a conversion unless I get an email and a first name. I would probably include a phone number. That's just me. But I'm just trying to make this as fast as possible. So now we have a landing site. Step one is done. Does that make sense to everybody? Are there any questions about creating your squeeze page or landing page or a place to land? You can go so far as to use Woofu that has free services, and that's a capture page. You can slick those up. I am a big believer in doing dedicated URLs at this minute. Are there any questions right here? Am I still good with Ted and Lisa and Ralph? Just checking in with everybody. I'm checking my time as well. 1:39, we're doing good. Yes, yes. Is capture page that your company different than your company website? Yeah, it is, Ted. And I'll show you why in a minute. This is what's called technically a squeeze page, right? A squeeze page is literally designed to keep them funneled down and taking the action of filling out the form at the bottom. Okay, it's just like a sales page. That's why my lead pages, you can constantly make them, right? And all they're designed for, right, is to generate an outcome at the end. Does that make sense to you? I personally think that a website is not for anything really other than a blog. How do people find your landing page? We're going to do that right now, Bernard. Good question. This is just where we want them to land, right? Does that make sense, Bernard? This is just where I want them to go, and this is what I want them to fill out, because it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter what content you put out. I want them here at the end of the day. Does that make sense? So now I have the finished place. This is the hook. Does that make more sense, Bernard, Ted? I'm going to show you how to use the website. I'm going to show you how to generate. But that's the important part. This is the hook. The hook is here. I got to get them onto here. These are high conversion landing pages. You don't want to tweak these too much. Just put your information in, make them nice, slick them out. It'll take you an hour. Okay, you don't have to get crazy when making a landing page. Okay, I have rarely changed their stuff too much. The reason they're telling you these things, especially with my lead pages and a lot of websites, they will tell you which ones convert the most. Use the ones that convert the most. Does that make sense? So this is my hook. Let's bait the hook and put it on my traffic. So the next thing I want to do, because I know my clientele, I know what I'm going after, I'm niche marketing, right? Specifically on the web. So the more precise I can make my bait, the better the clients I'm going to go after. In this particular case, it's my value that I'm providing for them, right, is giving them the home of their dreams. So what area do I work in, and what information do people want to know about? For the sake of our discussion, I'm going to use a city that is nearby me. It is I use it almost in all of my training live events because it is very unique. It's got a good range of people from college educated to blue collar. I think the wider range of demographics come into play here. So it's the lovely city of Covina, California. And the first thing I want to do is check the news of Covina, California. I'm looking for bait to answer your question, Bernard. Okay. So missing West Covina girl found after 12 years. That's nice. Potential income property home on border of West Covina. Northridge School honored. So what I'm looking for is something that I think people will engage. And here's my feeling on using the news as your bait, your click bait. Historically, I have discovered with real estate agents as well as clients, people are more likely to click and read fantastic things. That's just the way they are. There is a reason why there are so many National Enquirer type magazines at the front counter. People stop and they read them. And therefore, that's why there are so many of them. In this particular case, we're going to be pretty exact about Covina, California home prices. I want to see if I can get anything new. Sprouts Farmers Market coming to West Covina. That's not bad. I don't want to go all the way over to El Monte. It changes my demographics. California market cools, but that's an old article. Let's go with something simple. Let's use all of California and do California home prices. Yeah, we already knew that the home prices has plunged. This is an article that came out a day ago. This is good information. It's the LA Times. I now have my bait. Okay, I've got an article that will be of interest. Much like the way the LA Times runs their ad, look closely at the way you can learn a lot about marketing from the LA Times. The LA Times creates news so that people click on this ad, or they click on this ad to sign up for the LA Times. All the way down, they're running ads to try to get me involved. So we want to use their information and create our own place to put that information. Does that make sense? So here is where, Ted, your website would come into play. I would use this information, okay? And here's exactly how I would use this information. Continue without unlimited access. I'm not interested in paying for it. I'm going to copy the article. All I'm doing is highlighting with a right click, scrolling up, and right-clicking and copying the article. I'm going to open a Microsoft Word page because I want to get all the code off of it. I'm not going to get into really geeky internet stuff. That's what it is. It's geeky internet stuff. There's code on that page currently. I'm going to click on a blank document. I'm going to right-click and paste text only. Got it? So now I just have the text of the article. And I'm going to turn it into a fairly precise article that is very easy to deal with and very palatable before I put it anywhere on the World Wide Web. I don't need any of this because that goes to a different article. I don't care. I just want very exact things happening. I'm showing you in real time how this would be done, okay? Just cleaning the article up. It's all done. That's the article when you break it all down. This whole article, yeah, got all of it. Looks just like that. I do like this graph. I'm going to save that image as an image on my website. I like this image. I'm going to save it. Why am I saving these images? Because now I can go on Instagram and post these pictures, can't I? I can also post them on social media. I'm not a big fan of this. I don't know these people, and it looks like a Getty image, and I'm not going to get involved, and I don't want copyrights. I also want to keep track of where I got the information from because I do source out my articles. Source, boom. And I'm also going to put who wrote the article, Andrew, boom. Keep the text only. I don't want the links for Andrew. Now I have an actual article, text only. Are there any questions about how I did this? I'm going to show you how to bait the hook here in just a minute. And this will go back to the question of how do I drive traffic to that landing page, right? Does this all make sense to this point on how I capture information? Plus I have 2 pictures. So now I have lots of bait. Ted, Lisa, Ralph. Hi, Natalia, another coaching student. Is there any other coaching students I missed? Everybody's good? Everybody can handle this? There's nothing too crazy at this point? Okay, good. All right, I have data. Let's start to, don't worry about it, Natalia. All right, so let's put this out on the World Wide Web, shall we? So we need a landing place. This goes back to your question, right, Ted? When do I get my website involved? This is where I will get my website involved, right? If you don't have a website, you can also do it on your Facebook page. And I'm going to show you how. I'm going to do it with my Facebook page. So this is my personal I'm going to give you all my Facebook tips right out of the gate, and they're going to come fast and furious. Okay. I have 3 Facebook pages that I maintain. This is my main profile that when you type in Lee Honish, this is what you find on Google, and I'm okay with it. I don't have anything on my timeline that isn't about me or my family. I can't stress this enough. I don't have a political opinion. I don't have a food opinion. I'm not even trying to piss off people that are allergic to shellfish. Got it? This is the way I run my page. My page is literally about me, how to contact me, and you're going to think that I'm a warm, fuzzy guy who's a single dad who's got a kid, and that's all I care about. Okay, the next thing that's really important, I maintain 5,000 friends all the time, literally all the time. That is the maximum number of friends you can be allowed. I understand that most of you have just a certain number of friends that you get involved with. I always keep it at 5,000. Here's why. I can't add more friends, but they will automatically start to follow me. So I am always keeping it at 5,000 when I can help it. Got it? That's really important. I don't know 4,900 of them. I only know about 100 of the people that are really on here, and they're the people that I really look like in my day-to-day feed. So I have a Lee Honish personal profile. This gets Google searched. Now, because this is exactly what I want people to see. Does that make sense for everybody? I'm not even going to post the article here. I will, but I won't. Does that make sense? I'm going to show you how I do both. It will be here, but it won't be here as well. What I am going to do is I'm going to post it to the Lee Honish business page, which is a real thing, which I've created, where I put stuff about work and business. I keep it separate. It just allows me a bigger social influence. So one page has about 6,000 people. This particular page, by and large, has another couple of thousand people. So I want to integrate as much of that as I humanly can, right? I don't know. I think this one's at 4,000 or 5,000. Doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a post. Don't kill yourself if you don't have a website. I'm going to copy everything here that is an article. Did I get it all right? I didn't clean it all up. Hold on. There. I didn't see that it was 3 pages long. It's okay. Here. I want this out. I thought it was only 1 page. Would have been so much easier. Let's get this as a good, ready to go article. Some of you should have paid attention to this. Would have made things very simple. Just giving you guys a hard time. So it's just the bulk of the article. And that's all done. There we go. Now I'm going to copy the article itself. Just this information. Copy it. Everybody can do that, right? Let's go over to Facebook and create our post. Now, Ted, to answer your question, this would be what I'm posting on my website. I'll show you the difference of what it looks like in a minute. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste that article just like that. Now it's there. Got it? Everybody good to this point? Because the next move is really important. Pay attention to this. Okay? I'm going to put a link at the bottom of this Facebook article, and there's a reason for it. It's going to be the Home of Dreams landing page that I just created. So I'm going to copy the link, and I'm going to place it at the bottom of the article. Would you like to find out? Probably caps. That's the way I would do it, more than likely. And you can do cute stuff here. Find out how to get the home of your dream for less. By the way, I might even bury this in the middle of the article. I'll show you in a second. I'll probably put it in a couple of places. Then I'm going to paste that web link. Got it? Now there's an actual byproduct link down here. I'm going to add a photo to it, probably one of these. Boom, boom. Photos are good. Everybody likes photos. Now it's got photos attached to it. Can't beat this stuff. Now, didn't I just make a baited landing site? So where was the question? Who was the Bernard? Your question, right? So now I'm going to copy this. Watch closely. It's the big move. Everywhere that there's a paragraph break, I'm going to add a space. I'm going to do this. And if you want to be super slick, continue below. Then right here, continued. And I'm going to copy this whole section. And I'm going to post it here, right? And probably right around the top as well, right after the core logic thing. Does that make sense to everybody? So now I have the bait on the hook. I would do this with, if I did this on my actual website, I would want to use the backlink to the actual article because you have to, or you'll get a weird email from the company and their name. On a Facebook post, you do not. There's no, don't worry about it. I've never seen that situation occur, okay? But that's why I like the Facebook page as, I'll clean it up a little bit for the sake of doing it, right? I don't think anybody cares about any of that. That looks good. And I want to get rid of this open house thing because that's from the image, right? There you go. It's all cleaned up. Does this make sense to everybody? The next move, I'm going to tag people that I know to the maximum number of people that I can tag with. I'm not doing this on my own timeline. If I was, it would be a little different. But I like checking in from a location. I like activity of looking for, you can create an activity for your dream home. All this stuff is great. Ultimately, just publish it. Don't get too crazy with it. And then I will have a finished post, right? That will look like, where are you? A lot going on this page. Okay. Where are you? Bubble area mortgages. I know it's got to be posted here somewhere. Let's refresh the page. Why are you saying that it hasn't reloaded yet? I'll leave the page. It should have posted. I'd be disappointed if it didn't. Any questions right here about what I did? Very simple. And you'll see the backlink that it actually creates at the bottom of the page. Questions? And this is why you want a really cleaned up URL. I don't like that, the way that current URL looks. Come on. Give me the current post so we can see this thing. Really? Are you telling me this thing didn't post? This is going to make me very unhappy. I can do it again. It's not a big deal. You don't pay to boost the ad, do you? No, I don't. And I'll show you why in just a second. Huh, didn't post. All right, I'll do it again real quick. Just so you guys can see it all one more time. So this is Facebook, so I don't need to backlink it. I'm going to keep all this information, copy it. I'm going to do it really fast because I'm running out of time. Pasted, posted, done, right? Next. Okay. I'm going to add a backlink to where I ultimately want to drive people, right? And find your dream house today. That's the call to action while prices are so low. Click for more info. Paste it. I'm going to Control A and copy this little bad boy. And I'm going to break it down and put it in multiple spots. I do like the continued below. And continued. Then I'm going to copy this. I'm going to drop it in the middle. Right? And you've done exactly what the LA Times did, except they did all the work. Got it? Now it's all done. You can clean up the top. I'll keep all this the way it is. Okay, I'm gonna add those photos back in. Hopefully it'll post this time. I don't know why it didn't post the last time, but we'll just hope for the best. I don't want to keep redoing this. I'm going to add photos. Boom, boom. I'm gonna open those. Those will upload. And I'm going to publish. Did it post this time? I don't know why it's not posting. Very frustrating. Now, while that's clearly posting itself, yeah, there's no issue with it. I don't know why it's not posting. All right. So Ted, to answer your question, so from my website, it would look like this. Same article, same idea behind the article, right? Doesn't matter what it is. I can add more hooks on my own website. It doesn't matter what the content is. It's what the hooks are within the article. So the trigger to this article was about a booby-trapped house. I've got a video at the top for more information about monster marketing. There's one in the middle about a webinar that's just like this. Then the video I was chasing people to. Facebook, as well as this site, will create a unique URL for each of my posts. Doesn't matter what you post. They all create unique URLs. You want to take those unique URLs and use them all over the web. Now, when you're talking about Facebook, and I don't know why this thing is posting, so I just don't even care anymore. I can share directly from here to answer your question, which was Bernard, right? So I can share this to groups directly. Generally, I like to do buy sell, especially targeted areas, right? So I belong to Covina individual groups, so I'm going to repost it in there with a message. I'm also going to post it into real estate forums, but I'm looking for real buyers and sellers. So I'm showing you right now live on the page, Covina Yard Sale, Covina Buzz, Covina Community Referrals, Community Buy-Sell Groups. I grew up in Covina. These are all places I, as a real estate person, can post information that will lead them back to the article, which will ultimately lead them back to where I want to get them. And the goal is to get them to wherever I want to get them, right? Which is either to my website, right? Or back to, I want to get them to this page. And ultimately, my goal is to get them back to this page, which is where my hooks are laid out. So if I created this page, if I created a page on my website, it would look roughly like this. I don't have time to create one on the web. And I'm not exactly sure why Facebook is screwing with me at this exact moment and not posting content. It's just not, for whatever reason. It should have posted. Let me try it on my own personal page one more time. I'm going to do it on my own personal timeline and then show you how to vanish it, which is actually a really cool trick. So I post a lot of stuff actually on my timeline. The only thing I leave up for the general public to see, and can I stress this? Make your Facebook page public. Really? You want people to find you. All right, let's try again. See if it'll let me. First thing I want to do is that. I don't need any of this at the bottom. Actually, I'm going to keep it just for the sake of getting it done. And I'm going to keep this. See if my page holds up. B, articles in, continued below. I really want this to go down, and so I can show you how to get a unique URL and how to plant it. Copy it. Right. I'm not going to add the photos this time. So I don't know if it's the photos causing the issue. And one as close to the top as possible because not that many people are going to stay in the article that long. Okay. Third try on this. This time I'm going to do it without the photos and see if it goes right away. Share. I think that we have success. There you go. It was about the photos for whatever reason. I don't know why. Somebody just liked it. Who liked it that fast? Ralph, thanks. All right, so here's where I want him to land, right? I'm going to try to do it one more time with the photos. So I think it makes a huge difference. Edit post. Let's see. I'm going to try to add the photos. Open. Save. Should work. There we go. Now I got a slick looking article, right? Now, here's a really cool part. These are all unique URLs, okay? I'm going to click continue reading. It's going to open up a page right here at the top. That is your unique posting click. Got it? I'm going to show you a pro hack. I know we're starting to run over a little bit. Go to Google shortcode, okay, or whatever, wherever you want to go. goo.gl should be Google shortcode. There it is. I don't know if you can. Yeah, you should still be able to do them, right? Should still exist. Did it really get rid of all my shortcodes? Oh, it's on a different page. But yeah, goo.gl. I'm going to paste that in and shorten the URL. And then I'm going to copy it. Got it? Next move. This goes to Bernard's question. I'm going to search for Covina because that's my target area. I'm going to open up every group that I'm already a member of. You need to join all your local groups, right? So I grew up in Covina. West Covina Buzz. Party. I don't know about that. West Covina Insider. I'm going to show you 3 of them, but I'm also part of the buy-sell groups, LA buy-sell groups. The more you put it out, the better the traffic will be. I'm going to paste the URL from the article from Facebook, and Facebook will do the rest for me. You can also share directly to these groups, in my opinion. It's going to do all the previews and everything for me. Home prices in California go down. That's all I need. Keep your bait simple when you're baiting the hook. Does this make sense now, Bernard? So ultimately, when I post this into this group, and wherever I post it on Facebook and all the locations that I paste it, right? Because now it's posted. If I click on it, I click on the article. Come on. Come on. Why are you being difficult? I saw it go in. Where are you? I don't know where it went. Wherever it goes, whatever I click on, if I click on the actual article, it's going to lead me back to the article to read about, and then buried within it, continue below, continue above, find your dream house, click here. Again, my bait is written in the middle of the article. Find your dream house, click here. You can really trick this thing out. I did everything really fast. I don't like the way it actually lays out. So you can do stuff like create lines so people can see it better. The goal is to stand out within the article, right? You're just creating an ad within an ad. This is actually a Facebook hack I'm teaching you guys. Copy this. I like this much better. Copy. Control V. Better, much better. It'll stand out now. Control V. And yeah, you can boost this post, Ted. I'm not opposed to it. Now it stands out a little bit more, doesn't it? Now I can copy this. I've got a Google short code, right? So I can copy it again. Now I can go on Twitter and I can tweet it out. This is how it all works. This is Web Leads 101. Home prices drop. See it in California. I would probably spend a little more time on it in most situations. Make sure it has a picture, that kind of thing, right? And it's going to lead me back to my article. Next, I'm going to do an Instagram. I know that there is no desktop Instagram. This is actually a plugin, but I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible so you guys can see it. I am going to add a photo. I am going to add which photo? I want all. I want this. Allow access. And then I'm going to post that with a backlink. I don't like this app all that much. Okay. I'm going to add in the information from that article. Then I'm going to post that off as well. Yes, leave the page. So now I've posted to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn's the same way. I'm going to post it there. More eyes on the product. Oh yeah, LinkedIn as well. Paste it. All right. Theirs is a little slicker. I can add a photo. Boom, boom. Open. Post. It's done. I'd probably slick this out a little bit more. I don't think I like the way this looks, but you can, that's why you want to get a dedicated URL. For Facebook, that's okay. I don't mind it saying my name and whatever. What I want them to do is click there, read more. I didn't put a title on it because I'm in a hurry. I'm just being honest at this point, trying to finish up this webinar. I know I'm over by a few minutes. So I've done Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and now I put the bait out there. Does that answer your question, Bernard? That's how I'm driving people. I would prefer to drive all this traffic back to my website. I'd also do Tumblr. I'd also do Pinterest. I do that as well. Blogger. I belong to all of them. More places I can place it, the better it is for me in the long run. Because ultimately, my only goal in this whole thing is to get people to click on it. Nobody's clicked on it yet, so I haven't done very well. I also haven't put it anywhere yet. I'm going to put it in all the different West Covina groups. I'm going to put it in all the buy-sell groups. I'm going to spread it all over the web as much as I humanly can. And when I am done with my little posting spree, okay, I'm going to hide this from my timeline. It's going to hide it, but it's going to still leave it as to appear, right? It's all done. It's right off like it never existed on the web. Is it still there? Of course it is. It's a live thing. And now I still keep a very clean Facebook timeline. Another pro hack. I don't like posting my work on my own personal page. That's just me. Once people leave their name and number and email, does Lead Pages send you the info? Yeah, they do, actually. They send you an email, Ted. So all of this is driving them back to my homepage. Theoretically, they will message me. They'll give me their email. And their name. And then send it. And then in my Gmail account, I'm going through all the steps for you, Ted. I should have, if everything's done correctly. How did I get a copyright claim on that video? Sorry. It's frustrating. Gotta deal with that. Unless it's not on that page. I'm gonna have to look that up. Oh, that's why. Wrong account. Got another copyright claim. Very frustrating. That's a YouTube thing. Updates. There's my lead notification. And when I open it up, I should have a lead from myself. There it is. From here, I can go over to, for those of you that are conscious of spending money, MailChimp, where I'm going to sign up for free, and I'm going to create an email list and capture this information. If I got a phone number, I'm calling the phone number back. If I only have an email, they're going into an email platform. That's the goal. Keep, click, follow up. Are there any questions? That was a lot of stuff. Let's review it real quick because I know I've gone over. We want to do direct marketing that captures leads. We want to do web marketing that captures leads. We want to engage our referrals so that we're ultimately getting new buyers and sellers, right? Step 1, understand your value, create your value. Step 2, create a landing page to send them to. Step 3, create a direct marketing campaign. Get it out there, right? Create the web marketing, stick it all out there, get it going. Engage the referrals, and then ultimately follow up and cycle through. And that's how you get web leads or any leads to ultimately convert out for all of you. I want to thank you all for taking time out of this call. There's only a few of you left. I know I went over by about 20 minutes or so. How far did I go? 16, I'm not bad. Go to leehonish.info. I'm offering to everybody who watches this webinar or anybody who gets involved, free marketing consultation. Click on the link. I don't think you can on the screen, sorry. Type in Leehonish, LEEHONISH.info, and it will take you to a lead page that I've created that you're about to see. On it is a 2-hour video that goes into greater detail than the stuff I discussed here. I can't recommend it enough if it ever loads, all right? There are free training videos located on here. This video will be on here as well. This is a 2-hour video that you can watch in detail. And then you can click and sign up for a free one-on-one with me. Again, go click on the page, leehonish.info, and sign up for a free one-on-one with me. Just fill in the info. I'll call you back. I'll help you find the value. I'll help you work things out. I am a private consultant to both real estate agents, realtors, and small businesses. I do this stuff every single day. I do provide that service, but that's not what I'm here to do today. I am here to help you increase your message and see where you're getting caught up. If you want to discuss coaching, we can discuss it. I don't take every case. I'm just being perfectly honest. Usually I take a marketing case only because it creates some kind of challenge for me. And that's the way I run my own business these days. But again, I can't stress it enough. if you're watching this video or if you sat through this webinar, it's 100% free. I'm not going to upsell you in any way, shape, or form. Click sign up. I'll call you back, schedule a time, we'll talk. I want to find out what your value is, what you're doing online, do a little show you in real time on the web, what people are looking at when they sign up for you. And that's leehonish.info.